So where are you going?
I'm going to go right up there to about 19,000 feet on the rocky ridges here that are at this early morning light to get a viewpoint here to shoot from a place where George Mallory shot in 1921 and see how much it's changed in that amount of time. We're going up here, right up there on those pinnacles.
Pass this river?
Yes. It's a long way, and then we'll see how much this glacier has melted here. I first was on this side of the mountain in 1996, so I know this place well. And to look at the glacier here in 1921, and to look at it out there now, and the glacier's just gone.
We've always romanticized tall mountains and glaciers. But actually, they're kind of living, almost organisms, constantly moving. And we assumed, I think, for many years that they didn't have much to do with us. But it turns out they do. They provide much of the water for many rivers in the world, and particularly in the Asian region.
I'm camped at 18,000 feet on the north side of Everest in Tibet. Looking out from the door of my tent here, I can see the north face of Mount Everest, which is about 4 miles away from me. What I noticed about climbing on Everest from 1981 until 2004 was much warmer temperatures up higher on the mountain, and then higher up a thinning and a diminishment of the snow and ice on the ridge.
I've always considered the glaciers on the mountaintops in the low latitudes as the canaries in a coal mine. They are in an area that is projected to warm twice as fast as the surface. So you'll see the response in those glaciers before you'll see them at the surface. These glaciers could disappear much faster than our general perception. What is so consistent about ice is looking at the history that's recorded in the ice itself. And it's a story that anyone can see. The glacier is a wonderful archive, and you can take it to any government. You can take it to the U.S. Senate. No one yet has come up with a political agenda the glacier might have to be behaving like it is, except the climate of the planet is changing.
What's really exciting about this research for me is the peek back into history. I took this photo in 2008. I'm standing where a gentleman stood in 1921, Captain Wheeler. His photo shows this rock island exposed to this height. If you come down here to this picture, the glacier used to be here. It's dropped 400 feet further up the glacier, and that's true all the way across, all the way up the West Rongbuk Glacier. It's just losing mass vertically.
You can think of a glacier as a bank account. It's a water bank account that has been built up for over thousands of years. And in the beginning of the 21st century, we are taking more out of that bank account than is being put in. And we know long term, if with any bank account, if you do that, pretty soon it's gone. I would say as we go forward, water will become more important than oil. It's been very important for the growth of economies around the world, but the world went on before oil. Energy makes no difference if you don't have water.
glaciers feed in Asia almost every major river system, from the Indus in the west to the Yellow in the east, and in between we have the Yangtze, the Mekong, the Irrawaddy, the Salween, the Brahmaputra, and the Ganges. And around those rivers, all of the great civilizations of Asia have arisen. And today, they still depend on those waters. That's some 2 billion people. Glaciers, they are the source of life for much of Asia.
And it's not just accident that they live there, that's why they live there. This just marked the last 10,000 years of human civilization, was that it was warm enough that we had our big continental interiors free of ice, but cold enough that we had these perfect storehouses for water up high in the Andes, up high in the Sierras, up high in the Himalayas that released this beautiful flow all year round. Well, that's changing, and changing very fast.
Because the US and China burn a lot of coal, and because we are the two largest emitters of greenhouse gases in the world, and because if we don't get together, there can be no solution to climate change, President Obama's summit meeting with President Hu Jintao is of critical importance. If they do not get together to collaborate on this problem, we will not soon have a solution. I think the melting of glaciers, which you can see so graphically in these photographs, is a very concrete visual warning to us. We can see what's happening. And if we do not take heed, we will, I think, reap a bitter harvest over the decades to come. They're the alarm system, and the alarm system has gone off. The question is, will we hear it?